The Vishnu Purana gives us narrators not as random dramas, but as engineered responses to concrete crises in the world order. In this episode, we read closely the first three Dashavatara, Matsya, Kurma, and Varaha. Each story is compact, technical, and loaded with practical symbolism. We will treat the Purana's language seriously and extract what each form is intended to repair. Begin with Matsya, the fish. The Purana tells of a pious Manu who finds a small fish. The fish grows rapidly under Manu's care and eventually reveals itself as Vishnu. The fish warns of an approaching flood and instructs Manu to build a boat, to collect the seeds of life and the sacred knowledge that will preserve human continuity. In the narrative economy, the fish functions as archivist and lifeboat. Read symbolically, Matsya addresses continuity under dissolution. When a kalpa or a great dissolution approaches, the immediate technical task is to preserve pattern and seed. Matsya preserves the genetic and cultural archive. In practical terms, Matsya teaches a first rule of spiritual survival: protect the essentials. When systems fail, what must you safeguard first? The texts, the practices, the competent teachers, the core narratives that allow a civilization to regenerate. Matsya is therefore the narrator of preservation and transmission. Next, Kurma, the tortoise. The Purana frames Kurma in the Samudra Manthan episode. The gods and demons set a mountain into the ocean to churn for nectar, but the mountain sinks. Vishnu becomes Kurma and provides a stable base on his back so the churning can proceed. Kurma is the foundation. Symbolically, Kurma answers a different problem than Matsya. Where Matsya preserves content, Kurma provides structural support during intensive transformation. The Samudra Manthan is an image of deep alchemy. When you are working through subtle realities and extracting rare results, the process will create instability. You need an immovable axis. Kurma is that axis. Practically, Kurma teaches that real transformation requires steady ground, a disciplined practice, a reliable institution, a safe group that can hold the center while changes happen. Without Kurma, churning dissipates into chaos. Third, Varaha, the boar. In the Purana, the earth is submerged or displaced by a demon force. Vishnu incarnates as Varaha, dives into the depths, lifts the earth on his tusks, and sets it again in its place. Varaha performs retrieval and re-anchoring. The lesson here is recovery and restoration. Varaha is called when the world loses its center and order. Unlike Matsya, which protects what remains, and unlike Kurma, which supports an active transformation, Varaha actively rescues what has been lost. This narrator shows the work of retrieval, locating what sank under ignorance, digging into depths to pull back life, and re-establishing proper orientation. Practically, Varaha reminds us that some damages require direct recovery operations. Rescue missions, truth recovery, the restoration of damaged institutions and ecosystems. Varaha is the specialist in re-anchoring form. Now note the technical sequence. The order in the Purana is deliberate. First, secure the seed. Second, hold the axis while you transform. Third, retrieve and replace what has been displaced. This is a repair protocol. It is economical and methodical. The Purana is not simply telling fanciful tales. It is offering an operational manual for cosmic maintenance. Pay attention to the types of crises each narrator meets. Matsya responds to dissolution across time. Kurma answers instability during creative labor. Varaha corrects displacement of the world itself. Each narrator's form matches the technical demands of the problem. A fish is suited to water, a tortoise to bearing weight under motion, a boar to diving and rooting. There is a second layer, interior application. Matsya asks us to protect inner seed. Kurma asks us to build stable practice during inner churning. Varaha asks us to rescue what our life has lost and re-anchor it in purpose. These narrators are therefore both cosmological operators and spiritual instructions for the individual. One more nuance matters. Different manuscripts and regional traditions vary in emphasis and detail. The Purana's core point remains constant. Divine descents are tailored, technical, and appropriate. They show method more than mystery. When you study these stories carefully, the ritual and the metaphor converge into practical prescriptions. Finally, the Purana's presentation of these narrators invites a posture of preparedness. Preservation, steady support, and active recovery are recurring tasks in any age. Recognize which task your time requires and act accordingly.